Hello, and welcome to the last in a series of 6 videos in which I hope to explain, or largely by now to have explained, how to recognise and how to use the adjectives in Latin. In this video, I want to look at possessive adjectives. A possessive adjective is, as I think its name suggests, used to show that a noun belongs to someone. It shows that one noun is the property of another noun. But rather than talk about definitions, let's have a look at some examples. My dinner is cold. Our country is in decline. Your presence is not welcome. His feet smell. Her taste in men is suspect. Its cost is an outrage. Their failure is not a surprise. Those red words are possessive adjectives, and very useful things they are too, I hope you'll agree. Latin also has possessive adjectives, but as with all other adjectives in Latin, these decline, and they decline to agree with their nouns in case, gender, and number. And this makes them slightly unusually different from English. I'll come to that a bit later. For the moment, though, here they are. What I could do with the Latin possessive adjectives is reveal them one at a time, setting up the table in ever such a careful way. However, I do assume that you've watched the other 5 videos, and I hope that would be an entirely superfluous job on my part. And so here are the first person possessive adjectives. Meus, mea, meum. And let's go down. And notice the plurals, noster, nostrae, nostra. I do hope that there's no need for me to say more about these. These are absolutely standard 2-1-2 adjectives. Look at those endings. There's nothing surprising there. There are no irregularities. It is a perfectly regular 2-1-2 adjective. And if I turn to the second person possessive adjectives, it's exactly the same. Tuus, tua, tuum. And then for the plural, vesta, vestrae, vestrae. And then let me turn to the third person possessive adjectives, the his, her, its, their possessive adjectives. Again, absolutely standard 2-1-2 adjectives. No surprises there. But I've kept that space free on the right for making a few notes. Having shown you what these possessive adjectives look like, let's have a look at the wrinkle that I mentioned earlier, or the unusual difference between Latin and English. Here it is. In English, a possessive adjective agrees with the gender of the possessor. So, his mother swore at the slave. Her father kept falling asleep. You use gendered possessive pronouns in English to show the gender of the person who is doing the possessing. They don't do this in Latin. No, in Latin, a possessive adjective behaves like any other adjective. It agrees not with the possessor, but it agrees with the noun that it modifies. It behaves like all other adjectives in Latin. Have a look at this. Sua mater servum vituperavet. His or her mother swore at the slave. Suus pater obdormiebat. His father or her father kept falling asleep. Have a look at these 2 sentences. Just because the first one refers to sua mater doesn't mean that the person possessing that particular mother is feminine. The possessive adjective sua is used because mater is feminine. It says nothing at all about the gender of the person whose mother this might be. Same with suis pater. Could be a girl's father. We just don't know. So this is quite a big difference between English and Latin, and I do advise you to be aware of this difference. In exactly the same way, I am a man, but mia mater mihi respondit. My mother replied to me. Yes, I'm a man, but mea mater. Mea, of course, is a feminine possessive adjective, but again, in Latin, a possessive adjective says nothing about the gender of the person who happens to be possessing the noun that is described. If you've studied it, it is exactly the same rule in French. So there is the main difference between the English and the Latin possessive adjectives. Let's move to another difference, and this applies only to the third person possessive adjectives. Suis, sua, suum refers only to the subject of a sentence. Let's see this in some examples. Chosroes patrem suum occidit. Chosroes killed his own father. He didn't kill anyone else's, he killed his own father. Patrem suum refers to his father. If you want to say that Chosroes killed the father of somebody else, you use eus, the genitive of is, ea, id. So, Chosroes patrem eus occidit. Another important distinction between English and Latin, another one that is worth remembering. A further point, sometimes PTE is added for emphasis to the ablative singular, and so here's a line from Catullus. Sonitu suopte tintenant aures. My ears ring with their own sound. And here, suopte, that is emphasizing their own. And I think that's it. I think that is everything that I need to say about the possessive adjectives. And so this brings me to the end of my series of 6 videos about the Latin adjectives. There is a lot that I haven't said, but I do hope that in these 6 videos I have covered the essentials of these adjectives, and I hope that when you consult your grammar books, you'll find everything that I've said in these 6 videos of some value for making sense of what you read in your grammar book. So with those words, I'll thank you for having watched this video and perhaps the other 5 videos, and I hope that you will look at some of the other videos that I've made about Latin and the videos that I shall in due course make about Greek. Thank you, and for the moment, goodbye.